how do you find out that the article was written? How do you find that
The
out?
best story, this is how you know I'm a lucky person.
Blessed person.
Blessed, truly, I am a blessed person. When we were looking in Ballynahown, where I was 16 when we visited the house that had been where my grandfather had grown up. So I knew when you get to the road and it turned north and it's straight, and you turn left and it's close by, not which house, I didn't remember which house, but I'm looking and I thought, I'll knock on the door. So I knock on the door, and a woman a little younger than me comes to the door, and her mother comes out. They had just finished lunch, and they're chatting. And I'm sorry, I was so excited when she gave me the book, I forgot to ask her name. She said, we're talking about Costello, and she said, I don't know, they live far away, I don't know anybody here, none around here. And then I mentioned up the road my grandmother, Ying, and she said, oh, I was just reading a book. There was a story about Ying. There was a person in it, Ying. And she said, it's an unusual name from this area. I don't know why, but let me find the book. So she wanders around and comes back and gives it to me. And I look, and it's the picture we have of our family. And this is my great-grandfather. And I almost fell down. So I forgot to ask her name. I was so surprised.
Yeah. You're meant to read that.
Yeah. And to find you, and to find you.
Yeah. You're meant to.
And then when we asked, she didn't know. And then I'm trying to think how we knew about Brendan, because she turned the page over and said, if you can't find Poracokara, look for this man, Brendan Waters. I don't know how you say that in Irish. Tourish, yes. Yeah. So look for him. So we found his house, we found your house. Yeah. I did the same thing I left a little paper.
Yeah.
And I did another house also. A woman named Margaret, she sent me an email. I'll have to send her a note now. Because she didn't know any Costellos in that area. Because I just went, I'll knock on the door and say hello. Yeah. So that's how lucky. She was about to throw it out for next year. She's waiting for next year's. The new one, I guess she said, is coming soon. So and it's wonderful to have those. That story. Yeah.
But that's a lovely magazine, because you get the lot, like down the line they'll be very historical.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
There are little stories in it now that would be well forgotten.
Yeah. They'd be forgotten if nobody wrote them down.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the old pictures, they love old pictures as well. Because they're old pictures, and eventually they'll be thrown out. Somebody will come along, will have no interest.
And they don't know who the people are, and they don't know where the picture was taken.
Yeah. But even in your situation, you kept the family tie and tree was very well kept, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because
I've been working on this for 40 years. I always ask questions, and I always write them down. I try to write the stories, and to who's who and the relationships. I like to know that.
Yeah.
I have another cousin who also likes to do that. But yeah, it's for me, it's important. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, because you're so lucky that the house exists.
I was telling my husband that someday I really was afraid I would come this time and find a new house built where that one used to be.
Yeah. I think that belongs to Padráic in Flaherty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it belongs to Padráic, Flaherty,
Yeah. The guy who owns that land knows Padráic Flaherty.
Did he? Because there was also this family story. There was a Flaherty that when my aunt left, she told them they could use my great-grandfathers. They could use the fields for their sheep.
Yeah.
And I think that was a Flaherty affair.
Maybe that's how it happened.
That's how that happened. Yeah.
But I'd imagine it'll be there for years to come, because the guy that owns it now, I don't think he'll be.
Not likely.
No, I don't think he'll be doing anything with it.
Yeah.
And we were commenting. Remember today with Kelly and with you. It's still a very strong structure, isn't it?
Well, I remember that house well.
Yes.
There's a parts of it now knocked down, but was a big structure of a house,
Yeah.
big strong walls, and well, there's some wood still.
The two gables are still there, aren't
Yeah.
Yeah.
One side is lower. The very top of the point has come down a little on one end,
Yeah.
but the other is full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
And in between it's still.
but at the time, it was a fairly big house.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It would stand out.
Oh, from the others,
Yeah.
it would stand out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were thinking maybe that at some stage that one of the gentry lived in that house.
They did.
So I had heard also when I was very young that neighborhood Teach Mór, big house, that was the house that it had originally been called for, and then my mother said it couldn't be true because the Yings had nothing, no big money. It couldn't be the big house.
I don't
But
know.
I don't know why it was.
I'm thinking with it now, when the gentry left, like,
Yeah.
that it might have fallen into the king's hands,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Because you thought maybe the commons,
The Cummins, yes, the Cummini.
yeah, commons, COMYNS, they were the local landlords,
Ah.
and that could be one of their residents.
Yeah.
We were just thinking that
Yeah.
Yes.
they had a residence around there, not maybe a permanent one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they come around maybe
Yeah.
because they had control, the rent control between the river over at Shippenfobble as far as the river in Crumlin,
Yeah.
maybe 2 mile area.
Yeah.
They had collected the rent in that area,
Yeah.
and obviously then they'd have a few residents.
Yeah.
It's just the same as that one by the side of the lake.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lake. You know the lake at our
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had little residents there as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're kind of a summer thing.
A little,
And they had their main residence, I think, up on the road leading from Galway to my Cullen,
Oh yeah.
you know. So probably when they vacated that house,
And that's.
I think I don't know what the years that they leave, I suppose the early 1900s, they'd be gone.
Yeah.
And probably then it fell into, that somehow then
We have the rent receipts
Mm.
from some period of time. I don't have them. My cousin has the papers with the receipts for the rent paid.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to find them and get them.
Yeah.
Again, belongs here when you get a society, a building, or
Yeah, they're talking about
Yeah.
building a heritage centre.
a heritage center.
Yeah.
This belongs with the heritage
Yeah,
center.
yeah, definitely.
They're the rent receipts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember when I was a little girl. There was a drawer in my grandmother's house that they were kept in.
Oh, yeah. Did you make a photocopy of
Yeah.
it?
Well,
That's
I think somebody still has the originals,
Yeah.
but I can at least get you an email.
Sure, yeah. It's nice to have, there's something about having things on email. They don't get lost.
They don't get lost. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and old photographs as well. Some people they hoard them and they don't share them.
Yeah.
So at least if they were scanned and sent to everybody, you know,
Everybody should have them.
everybody should have them. Yeah.
No, you're right. Yes. No, that's true. Yeah.
But it was unique even that you had that picture of Liam.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because it made that story you wrote. I recorded the information of Jimmy. So that picture made the story much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you can see the person.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, yeah, it makes huge difference.
It makes a big
Yeah.
difference.
Yes.
Yeah. It makes him even more real.
It is a more
Yeah.
real,
When the story is a real, but then have the picture with him.
Yeah. What I could do now, like before you leave, I'll read some of the article for you,
I'd love that.
and
Yeah.
then I get maybe my daughter Deirdre or somebody then to help you with to translate it and
Yeah,
send it
yeah.
on to you.
That would be lovely. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't do it justice now to start translating it unprepared.
I'd rather hear it from you in Irish anyway, because
Yeah.
that's how it was told.
Yeah.
That's the real story.
Yeah.
Yeah.